Yo, C-Town, stand up. We're back here at the lunch table, Seattle's #1 source for hip-hop news and discussion. I'm Caj Encee with M-Pyre, Feez, the Germ. Got a special guest with us, Infamouskayce. How are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Good, good.
Yo.
Hey, yo, we're at 2019 Culture Fest here today.
Yeah.
We've seen a couple things pop off. We got Marshall from, where's he?
Martial Law there.
Hip Hop Opera.
Yeah. No. Martial Law band.
Yeah, okay, Marshall. Oh, yeah. No, I'm getting it all fucked up today.
Two different bands. Yeah. But they fuck with each other. So.
And then who we had? We had Nobi up on there just doing the freestyle.
Nobi, shout out to Nobi.
Was Rob Reeves making the beat?
You said who?
Was Rob making the beat, or was he just,
Rob was. Yeah, Rob
making the beat.
Rob Black Gang, Rob Reeves.
And we got Dave B performing here in a minute.
Dave
and then
B.
Jay Prince from the UK, not the Houston Jay Prince, man.
I mean, when I seen the flyer, that's automatically. That's why I
didn't see just the J. It said J-A-Y.
I was like, Jay Prince. Hold on, I
we
don't
got
see
Houston
no,
up in here.
Right.
All right.
So I do not see no niggas on this flyer. Like,
yo, but I think before we get any further, we got to remember one of our fallen kings. We got to remember Nip.
definitely.
Crenshaw Zone, man. He was much more than just a rapper. He was an entrepreneur. He was a businessman. He was a father.
Definitely.
He was a husband. He was a brother.
Revolutionary.
Very respectable. Someone that we could all look up to. Someone that was trying to change from the inside out. And yeah, man, I just R.I.P. to Nip, man, for real.
True.
Y'all want to touch on that?
Man, it definitely affected me in a different way. I mean, I'm sure everyone has said the same thing. Like when we lost fallen icons prior, like Tupac, Big, we've lost Old Dirty Bastard. We lost many, Mac Miller, you know. And I feel this is different because Nipsey embodied entrepreneurship. He was someone that motivated you not just through the music, but just how he moved his way of life, his creed. And so, you know, that definitely somebody I admired at that. You know, some people say, hey, his music got me through college. Hey, his music got me through certain times in my life and helped me boss up in a different way. So, I mean, it's definitely impacted all of us, man. It definitely affected us in a different way that where we're like, wow, we're feeling it in our generation. We're feeling it for our generation, you know what I mean? So, yeah, that's my touch on it so far. Like, I feel he'll be missed, but he definitely left a crazy mark where we're not for sure if Nip is gonna really get that Best Rapper Alive title. I think it's gonna be just a new title, somebody that revolutionized music, revolutionized business, being much more than just a rapper, being someone that's an entrepreneur. I really admire that about Nip, you know what I mean? But even right now, there was a situation, I guess with the person, the suspect, Eric Holding. Yeah, man, it's sad to see that the same man that was representing the prosecutor from the OJ case, he's actually gonna be representing Eric Holding. That was crazy to me. I was like, wow, like, in what kind of way would you see justice in helping this man?
I read something that said that his dad, or he comes from money or something like that, and his dad knows the prosecutor.
Right.
I don't know. Something. There's some kind of link because I don't know how he would afford.
It's a paper trail, though.
That's what I'm saying. So there was some tie to him. I think it was like a family thing that's how he got connected with him.
That's crazy. How you feel on
Snitch
that?
had a lawyer on speed dial. That's what you're telling me?
Hey, man, it's American way.
I know.
He said it's bigger than Nino Brown.
Yeah, it's cold though, man. It's cold. I think it hurt everyone. Like you said, bro. I mean, he's so much more than a rapper, and his branding was so much more than a rapper. What encompassed him was the philanthropy, the investor, the entrepreneurship, being a father, being a husband. That was all a part of his brand. And I think that's what he admitted from a branding standpoint, from a music standpoint, and that's how people connected with him. And so I think, we all feel like we lost more than just a musician. We lost really like a motivator and someone that held that position in so many different roles as like a man really should be and really standing on 10. Like, I think we all lost a role model, man.
We lost a real one. We definitely lost a real one.
It was crazy. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I was in LA when it happened. I was like 10 minutes away from the scene, which was crazy because I was on FaceTime with my boy RJ, and he was like, yo, I just got a call that Nip got shot.
Shout out to RJ.
And then I was like, I mean, like, is he okay? Like, at that point, we just heard they got shot. So got off the phone with him. I got on Twitter, and the first thing I seen was that Nip passed away. And then I called him back. I mean, you could really tell, like, the city, like, that night we were just walking through the city, like, downtown LA. It was eerie. It felt crazy. And then every car, I'm not kidding you, that drove by was literally bumping Nipsey. People walking down the street had Nipsey playing on their phone. Like, I really feel like he embodied what somebody with a platform, you know, should be doing. I mean, he taught us so much through his music. Like you said, I mean, everyone said that he got them through something. He motivated them to do something. I mean, you know, just if you listen to his lyrics, if you listen to any of his songs, I mean, he really is just speaking the truth in every single song.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
And to all the people out there that's talking about, yo, if you wasn't rocking with Nipsey before, don't try to rock with Nipsey. Like, y'all gotta cut that shit all the way the fuck out. That shit's hella corny. You know what I'm saying? Like, before Nipsey was a rapper or anything that we just named, you know what I'm saying? He's a human and he's a person. You know what I'm saying? And, like, we're mourning the loss of a person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, for all that other shit that niggas is talking about, like, oh, don't try to rock now, don't try to ride now. Like,
I mean, that's like telling somebody that, okay, yeah, when Biggie and Tupac passed, we were what, 7, 8, some of us were 3 years old. And you're telling us, oh, don't play him now. We have to. He's a part of the history now. He's a part of the history books officially. And that was an icon in his own right. Because, like, the music industry is not built how it was in the 90s. So it's like everyone respectfully has a solid brand that gives them the right to say, hey, I'm the best in my lane, I'm the best in my lane, I'm an icon in my lane. So Nip was one of them factors that can do that. So when people say that, man, I'm real talk, I'm just like, you can say that all you want, but in the day, this man's embedded in the history of music and hip hop. So I could that's null and void to me. You feel me?
I mean, from here on out, we got to do better.
We do.
As artists, as a whole entire culture that loves Nip, you know what I'm saying? We got to do better, and I think it starts with the music for one. I feel like we got to cancel all shoot a nigga up music, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's I feel like, you know what I'm saying, that's what they want. That's what they want to be in our culture. So it's like, they're definitely not gonna bring it to us, so we gotta change it from the inside out. And I think it starts with the art, because hip hop's it's the #1 genre in the world, bro.
Facts.
And so we have the platform, everybody's listening, and we can't be having that type of effect.
We not only have the platform, but we have the responsibility. I think in hip hop culture in general, doesn't matter if you're an artist, publicist, public figure, your ties are within hip hop in some kind of way. Because hip hop culture is American culture. That's really what it is. You know, athletics, music, dancing, art, it's an art form, and it's a culture. So I feel that, you know, no matter what, and through all this, we just have to have the responsibility and say to ourselves, how are we going to police our own our own situations? How are we going to police our own situations? We can't be looking at police like, fuck 12, but then say, where's the justice? We can't do that all the time. We got to pick and choose our battles with that. So in justice, we don't need street justice for Nip. We need proper justice for Nip as far as how we're handling it. We can't just go in there half cocked and say, oh, off of impulse, fuck them. Nah, that's not the way. You know, I hope we learn from this. I hope our coaches learn. It's sad that it had to happen to one of the great ones, but I hope we learn from this. I mean, definitely for me, it impacted me in a way why I felt that, hey, it's time to step it up in a sense. Hey, in certain areas, certain gray areas of myself, like build that up a little bit more. You know what I mean? Because that death impacted everybody and it got me as well.
Yo, one last thing before we get off Nip. Man, this Kodak need to cut it the fuck out.
Yeah, Kodak with the rape charge,
shit.
bro. He got to come back early from
that shit is all the way foul.
He disrespectful, man.
Now, my question real quick, Casey. Now, with this whole Kodak situation, I'm not saying speak down on the man or anything like that, but what is your take when hip-hop artists, especially popular hip-hop artists, are caught in between a rape charge or some kind of sexual assault, somewhat matter against a woman?
I mean, I think it's a real sensitive subject. I mean, there's just so many, I mean, it's hard because there's so many accusations, you know, that are false and things like that. So
Correct.
I'm not saying that it is true. I'm not saying that it's not true, but you know what I mean? Like, being a female, someone who's around a lot of males, you know what I mean? Like, it's just scary that those things, you know, that you're taking a chance when you're hanging around, you know, guys that are doing drugs, that are drinking all the time, that are always under the influence, you know? I mean, like I said, it just sucks because I feel like because there's so many people that are claiming false rape charges, that it's hard to take the ones that are actually like true
Yeah,
and factual,
it's
hard to take those serious because
That's a fact.
there's so many people that are lying on people, that are trying to get money out of people, that are trying to exploit people, that I feel like it's kind of taking the credibility away from people who are actually being hurt from these situations.
Lauren London don't want nothing to do with Kodak Dusty. Dusty old ass anyway, man. Yo,
Man.
R.I.P. to Nip. Long live Nip. We got to keep carrying the torch for him. But yo, I must apologize one more time,
No, you're
Infamous
good.
Casey, for getting your name wrong
You're
at the
good, you're
beginning.
good.
But I've been actually familiar with you just in the Seattle culture, in the scene for a minute. Ironically enough, I think you work out with one of my homies, Lou Davis.
Yeah.
I used to play football with him at Central.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
So I seen that. I seen y'all be working. But tell us about how you're involved with the culture, because I've seen you out. You're at a lot of events. You're here at the Culture Fest, and you're supporting. Tell us about why you come out and your involvement with the whole scene.
I grew up in South Seattle, right off of Othello. I went to Franklin, graduated from Franklin High School. I grew up in the culture, so. Seattle's home. I try to rep Seattle as much as I can. I would love for Seattle to be the next city up. And I think it takes a lot more than just, it's these kind of events that is bringing the city together. I feel like in the past, Seattle has lacked these kind of events, lacked unity. I feel like a lot of times Seattle kind of has that mindset that only one person can win. But it's like I said, it's these kind of events that I feel like bring people together, that it's, we're networking, we're meeting people, we're seeing that there's room for more than just one person at the top. So for me, it's really important to, not only show love to my city, but to do events like these. I am doing a lot of events outside of the city, doing events with, big companies, but it's things like this that are like very humbling, and it makes me proud to be from this city. Like my homeboy Ryan is one of the guys helping, put this on. I've known him since I worked for the WNBA. So when he reached out to me about this event, it was it was a no-brainer. I love to do events like these. Am I always approached for these kind of events? Not necessarily. But anytime I do get an opportunity to do these kind of events, I would love to. I have a platform at the end of the day, and the first people that I want to put on is Seattle. So you know what I mean? So it's like I rep for my city. I love my city. I'm proud to be from here. So
she rocking the green too, the supersonic green.
Like I said, I have a platform, and I would love to put Seattle on with it. So. Like these kind of events, I love to show love for these kind of events.
We actually had our last episode was with Besa Gordon. She works at Cube 93 up there. I believe her hours are between like 7.
Like midnight to 6 a.m.
Yeah, midnight to 6 a.m. Yeah, and I actually had a conversation with her. I said, man, it'll be great to see several of our female Seattle, public figures come together and have a all girl discussion.
Yeah.
We could talk about politics, we could talk about our city, we could talk about the infrastructure, economics, this women's movement, because I feel that for years, women such as yourself in this city have been doing a lot. You're not passing out turkeys and nothing like that in the city.
Yeah.
For free, but I'm like, you stand out.
Yeah.
From your moves, from your accomplishments, it just goes to show your name has been on the rise. It was like either Infamouskayce, Besa Gordon, Casey Carter, random names. You'll see these names pop up, and it's been consistent. And you see a strong women movement out here that you guys are actually influential enough to be at events and be embraced, and also giving back to the city in a sense of representing it when you're not here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I feel in a lot of ways you guys should honestly come together and just have a big talk where it's like, like I just said before, you guys have several topics to touch on.
Yeah.
And then also, show women out this way, because you have some women that are kind of confused, young, out of control at times, and they need to hear that big sister talk. You feel me? Like they need that guidance, they need that direction. Where do I go? I'm ambitious to do this. I'm ambitious to do that. Like, what steps should I take? How should I persevere?
Absolutely.
And I feel that women like you, such as yourself, can actually give that advice.
Yeah, no, that would be so dope. I think there's a bunch of dope people in general in Seattle.
Yeah, definitely.
And I just did a commercial with Nike, and they described, the one word they described Seattle as was underrated. And I really feel like Seattle is very underrated.
It's very underrated.
I just feel like Washington in general is underrated. From Seattle to Tacoma, I feel like there's so many creatives, there's so many people that are doing so many dope things that it just hasn't, light hasn't been shedded on it yet. And I feel like we're slowly getting there, absolutely. But like I said, I do feel like there's a bunch of dope people here who, if we all just collab together and did something like, how you were saying, or, more events like these, I feel like Seattle could be like that next city up for sure.
Nah, it's definitely that market everyone wants to touch right now. Definitely one of those markets.
Pardon me? So that's the thing is that I could have moved out of the city, you know what I mean? And I feel like if I did move out of the city, it would be like I feel like here I'm kind of like big fish, little pond. And I feel like if I left the city, I would just be another Instagram girl or another girl that's just doing, you know, social media. And it's kind of like a blessing and a curse being here because it's like I don't get as many opportunities, you know, when, like, you know, there's so many events in LA and New York and, you know, Atlanta, and we don't have as many events here, like with like Nike and things like that. But I mean, I've wanted to take my brand outside of the city, but like I said, Seattle is such a special place for me, not only being home, but that it being that I want it to be the next city up. So it's like, yeah, I've had opportunities to leave, to move, but it's so nice to be like, okay, there's not that many of me here in that sense, or that many of like what I'm doing, and they come a dime a dozen in every other city. So, I mean, it's, like I said, it is a little bit of a big fish, little pond here, but it's like, it's kind of a blessing.
So there's pros and cons to both sides,
Absolutely.
But it's definitely some strategy.
Absolutely, yeah, because I mean, in no kind of way to be cocky or nothing like that, but it's like when people think Seattle and they think at least like my lane, like sneakers and fashion, like they, you know, a lot of people think me, like, you know what I mean? And so, like I said, that is like in the most humble way possible, you know what I'm saying? Because there's not that many people that are doing what I'm doing in the city, you know what I mean? So I go outside of the city, I meet 20, 50, 75 other people that are doing the same exact thing I'm doing. So, you know, I don't know. I feel like I will just fall into a category. I'll just be another number in another city.
That's, we talked to Paris Alexa about that, why she stayed here rather than going to Atlanta or Cali, because she's like, you know, out here, and a lot of people tried to deter her at the start. We're like, get out, you know, there's none of you here. And she started thinking like, that's a win. Yeah. That's not a bad thing.
That's
like
what I'm saying.
that means I can kind of take that role and ascend to that level. And so
Exactly.
It brings more value when you move out of town, when it's like, I got this reputation over here, then it's like, it's an easy access, or not easy, but it's easier to build with people, right? Because there's value. If I build with you and I'm from over here, you got market share over there.
Exactly.
And so it definitely opens up lanes.
That's exactly that's how I think, exactly.
Yeah.
Now, how did you, like, how long have you been how did you get into being, like, so it sounds like you're a brand ambassador for Nike. Are you an ambassador for other brands as well?
So I'm not necessarily a brand ambassador for Nike. I've worked with Nike. I've worked with Foot Locker, Champs, StockX. I remember. A ton of other brands. I've pretty much worked with every brand that I could have ever dreamed of. I've worked with Jordan, except for I've never worked directly with Adidas. But it really just started, I mean, through Instagram. The power of social media is wild. It's crazy. I mean, there's so much money in it, and I don't think people really realize that. And it's almost like a full-time job. And people like joke around like, oh, you're always taking pictures. Well, those pictures are making me money. You know what I mean? So it really just started with me posting my sneakers and it being a female in like the sneaker game and like, you know, in fashion. And I kind of have like a tomboy style. That's kind of where I kind of like took and ran with it. Like that was like, okay, I'm gonna run with this like tomboy sneaker brand. And from there it was like, you know, I was posting like OG sneakers. My feet haven't grown since 6th grade. So I have sneakers that I've had since like I was in 6th grade, 7th grade. And I would pull them out and, you know, a lot of respect came from the guys. It was like guys were seeing my sneaker collection and they were like, wow, like a female has this collection. And I kind of just gained traction from there. I did a bunch of, like I had a couple write-ups with like Kicks on Fire, with Complex, featured on those sites and stuff like that. And from there, it kind of just, once I did one, everything, it kind of just like fell into place. And, you know, like I said, once you work with one brand and they see you promoting and working with that brand and it's in that lane, they kind of just all start falling, you know, in line.
Yeah. And I know it's weird. So I know it's weird to like classify yourself as like an influencer.
Yeah.
But is that kind of how you would classify yourself?
Yeah, I mean, it is weird, and it's kind of taken me a while to embrace it because, you know, it's not really taken serious. Like you're not going to go and you're not going to write on a job application that, hey, I'm an influencer, you know? But it does hold weight. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, I'm a brand. Yeah. I'm a marketing site essentially. You know, people contact me to reach out to my followers that they would never be able to either reach out to or have exposure to. So at the end of the day, I have to think of myself as more like a brand and really embrace that, you know? And it was to the point where it was like, you know, I wasn't charging for promotional stuff and someone put into aspects, you know, into perspective for me. They were like, hey, you know, could you reach out to Facebook and ask them to put up an ad for you for free? And I was like, no. And they're like, exactly. So why are you not charging? because essentially you're a platform that is marketing these other brands. They wouldn't be able to do that for free anywhere else, so they shouldn't be able to do it for free with you. Right. So, I mean, really just understanding social media, realizing how much money is involved, how many opportunities. It's not even about the money for me. It's like how many opportunities that I've received. I mean, brands that I could have never dreamed of working with, like them contacting me and reaching out to me, just having that connection, that network. I mean, that means more than any.
And it's been organic for you,
absolutely,
right? Because it's based around who you are and authentically. And I think that's, you know, I do a lot in like cannabis, and that's where like influencers thrown around, you know, the moment, I don't know, a lot of people with like 2,000 followers are influencers, like, and not anybody's making bread from it or really doing anything from it. And so, and they're trying.
Yeah.
So for you, it's just really been organic of just being yourself and authentically putting it out there, and then just building that following.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's really just understanding from, like, people always ask me like advice, like how did I grow my brand, or like what kind of advice could I give to them? But it's really just understanding your brand and running with it. It's like, I would love to be like a Kylie Jenner where I could post my thumb or a Snickers bar and get 1 million likes, but it's not that simple, you know? So it's really understanding your brand, your following, and why people are following you. You know what I mean? Like we follow, you know, people follow Hype Beast and Hype Bay for, you know, fashion and sneakers and, you know, the culture. And then, you know, you follow obviously like CNN for the news. So it's really understanding like your brand and understanding why people follow you. And then once you understand that about your brand, I mean, everything kind of falls into line, right? You can't be, like I said, we're not all celebrities. We can't post whatever we want. So it's really just understanding what you're good at, why people follow you, and then just staying organic to that. And like I said, like once you work with, like I work with Foot Locker, then it's like, okay, Champs is reaching out. Okay, now Nike's reaching out. You know what I mean? They see you're promoting like items or in their lane, then they want to work with you. So.
Now, how do like those opportunities come about? Is it always them reaching out to you? Is there reaching out on your end for like for brands?
It's always no. I don't want to say always. I would say about 98% though is them reaching out to me. It's always either through email or direct message, right? But there are brands that like I want to work with that I have reached out and, you know, and like, hey, like, do you guys have an influencer program, or do you guys have any opportunities for partnerships? I mean, the worst thing they're going to say is no, right? So, I mean, what do I have to lose? And that's not, I mean, I don't really do that too often, but there have been brands that I've wanted to work with that I've reached out to. Not everyone says yes. Some just don't respond at all. But, I mean, majority of the time it's them reaching out. And like I said, it's like, I can tell, like, I know when I'm going to start getting emails in is when I start to post a lot of promotional stuff. So I'm like tagging brands or like driving people to a certain brand. And like, that's when I know, like, okay, I know brands are seeing this, so that's when we're going to start reaching out. Like, oh, she promotes other brands. Oh, let's reach out to her. Let's work with her. So, yeah.
So like, do you do a lot of traveling? Is it like, do they send you stuff, or do you mostly move to like where they want you to be at when you want them to represent? Or they
most brands will just send you like products or you know, whatever it is. I've done shoots in other cities. Foot Locker did a recent shoot here, so they came here and did it. I do get opportunities to like fly out and do shoots, which are just a little bit trickier because obviously then you incur like flight, hotel, and that takes away from like, you know, the income that you're putting in your pocket, right? It takes away from your check, while someone's locally is going to take, you know, that whole check in their pocket. I filmed in Detroit with StockX. I did a commercial with them. So yeah, there are a lot of opportunities outside of the city. That's where I feel like that's the downfall of being in Seattle, is that it's not a city like LA, Houston, Atlanta, New York, where they're always constantly shooting, where there's always events. And, you know, I see people at Nike events all the time. And unfortunately, that we just don't have those here.
A week in LA is a month in Seattle.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely. That's what I'm saying.
That 2 days for me felt like a month, bro, for real.
Yeah. So, yeah.
And then did you transfer that into like, because you've done a little bit of nightclub and like events, and I've seen that in and out of the city. And did that same thing kind of happen naturally once you kind of amassed a following?
I mean, I get approached all the time to do like club events and stuff like that. Like, but I'm not like, they call it like Instagram honey. You know what I mean? Like I'm not on Instagram like in lingerie or shaking my ass or nothing like that. So it's like, you know, a lot of times those are the girls that are hosting those events. And I mean, sometimes, you know, they'll try to lowball you. And like I said, it's like, because you're flying from out of state, it's like you have to take into fact the flight, the hotel, the transportation. And so that's taking away from, you know, how much you're getting paid outside of the event. So, I mean, yeah, I don't know. Those are really the only opportunities that I have outside the city, is that, and like doing commercials and stuff like that. But
But that same thing, like that happened, like, right? People just started coming to you for that. You didn't really seek that
That's what I'm saying. So like I said, you do one event and they see, I didn't know she hosts clubs. So now let's book her for our club, you know? So that's it. Just again, organic.
It's just that's how you build, man.
That's why I tell people all the time. Like, girls are always asking me, like, how do I get brands to send me stuff? I'm like, fucking fake it till you make it. Like when you're wearing shit, like even if you're buying it, like tag all these brands that you're wearing. Like, you know what I mean? Like they see you're already promoting for them. I mean, the least they're gonna do is either comment on your shit,
right?
Or which is gonna bring engagement to your page, or they're gonna be like, okay, she has a good following. Okay, we like her content. We're gonna send her free shit. You know what I mean? So that's what I be telling girls. I'm like, fake it till you make it, or like, you know, tag all these brands. That's just gonna gain traffic to your page, and you never know what can happen from there.
Yeah.
So
see that model of what you want to be, and just start acting. You know,
that's what I'm saying.
Start playing the role, speaking into existence.
I'm not saying be a fraud or nothing like that, but I'm saying like, they're not going to reach out to you to promote stuff if you're not already promoting stuff. You know what I mean? So it's like, if they see you promoting these brands and, you know, you're doing it on your own dime, like, why would they not reach out to you to do the same for them? So.
Now, is there anything that you won't represent, or do you go and collect every bag? I said, is there anything that you won't represent, or do you go out and, like, collect every bag? Or,
no, absolutely not. So I really try to be as true to my brand as possible. I don't ever want to promote nothing that, one, I wouldn't buy myself, two, that I don't believe in. You know, because there's things that I feel like will compromise my brand. And I feel like it takes away from, you know, like the validity of your brand, right? So it's like girls will, I'm not trying to knock any girls that promote flat tummy tea because I did it at once. That was probably one of my first gigs that I got, was promoting like the tea that like makes you lose weight or whatever, you know what I mean? But the more I understood my brand and who was following me, I felt like that didn't make sense, right? And I don't want to promote nothing that I, one, don't think is gonna work, and I don't ever want to promote nothing to these girls, because I know there's a bunch of young girls that follow me where, you know, some of these girls were posting like these lollipops that were like meal suppressants. Yeah. Like I don't ever want to promote nothing like that, and anything that's, you know, like I said, not true to my brand. So it's like, money isn't everything to me, you know what I mean? And all money, and to me, all money is not good money. So, and people will disagree with me, absolutely with that. But I don't feel like for my brand.
I mean, you're building that long-term brand, and that's what it's built upon, authenticity.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Exactly. So it's like if I'm promoting everything, it's like how do you know if I'm really being authentic or not? You know what I mean? So it's like people, and right now I'm like promoting like a CBD pill and brand, which I'm like a huge fan of CBD because I have mad anxiety, and a lot of people question me like, you know, are you really using this, or are you just promoting for the money? I mean, to be honest, really, they're not paying me that much. I really was trying to find something that, you know, worked for me, and it happened to be that I got this opportunity, I tried it, I liked it, and, you know, I wanted to promote it. Right. You know, had I tried it out, not liked it, or I didn't feel like it was something that made sense for my brand, I would have definitely not done it. So I definitely turn down brands all the time, and unfortunately, it's like, social media is a full-time job. It's like when you take a picture, it's like you have to get ready. For a girl, you do your makeup, do your hair, find a location, get good lighting, have someone take your picture. So it's not like, okay, I can just snap a photo and be done. Right. You know what I mean? So there's work that goes into photos. And so people always joke around like, oh, it's just a picture. Oh, it's just a selfie. Well, I mean, you have to take into consideration all those other things too, right? So, I mean, like I said, to me, all money's not good money. Not every opportunity is a good opportunity for me. And at the same time, it does get overwhelming, so I have to turn down brands. And like I said, I don't ever want to promote nothing that I would never buy or pay with my own money.
Yeah. Yo, what's the craziest brand that's like ever reached out to you that they wanted you to rep?
Probably Jordan. Working with Jordan was probably like the dopest thing.
2-3.
You know what I mean? Like I said, these are brands that I'm growing up purchasing, buying, you know, just, I mean, growing up just loving Jordan, being like playing basketball and stuff like that. Like having them reach out to me was like so surreal. Like I said, I've worked with pretty much every brand that I could have ever dreamed of, except for Adidas, directly. But yeah, I would probably have to say Jordan and Nike.
That's dope. What do you got coming up like next? Like as far as the next thing that you're gonna be?
Yeah. So right now I've been working with the WNBA. They're really trying to shed light on the girls outside of basketball, right? Because, I mean, Seattle, females already don't get a lot of respect when it comes to sports. And so they're really trying to, like I said, shed light on the fact that, you know, they have some they rock some dope sneakers on the court. You know what I mean? They have fashion sense. And so I've been working with the WNBA on a segment that they've been just running on social media called WNBA Kicks, where they're just, you know, like I said, shedding light on what the girls are wearing off the court, on the court, their collections and things like that. So we started at the end of last season during playoffs, and we kind of did like a top 16 bracket, and they got to vote every day. Like the fans got to vote every day on, you know, bracket play, basically like March Madness of shoes. Got it down to 1. Sue Bird actually won that bracket, but they're really just looking to expand, and so that's what's coming up for me, is just trying to, you know, help build that brand for them, and really, you know, I have a platform with females and sneakers already, so it's really just utilizing my platform and trying to, you know, help the WNBA with that.
I told them last week, I said, quote me on this, didn't I say we should get Infamouskayce, Paris Alexa, Stacey Gordon, and Casey Carter, set it up, have it look like The View or Oprah or something like that, and we just talk about everything surrounding women. I told them exactly like this. I said, this is how crazy the women's movement has been over the past 5 years to me. Like, they have a wrestling game called WWE 2K, one of the 2K games. Around November, I actually bought the game just to play with Ronda Rousey, just to see what the transition was like. But that, just for the fact that it influenced me to be like, oh, wow, I mean, her to be on that game, wanted me to buy it, try it out, whatnot. That just goes to show that, you know, you guys are definitely making a turn in this world right now. And I feel that you guys need to be embraced a little more. But it's also the story that's being built and the tribulations, I feel, accrediting to you guys as well. Like, I feel that in the next 2 years, you'll probably have another Infamouskayce, well, somewhat similar in that in that position.
Absolutely.
Where she wants to bring more embracement to this world.
Absolutely.
Also for women in basketball, also for women in volleyball, also for women that do any other athletics and art.
Yeah.
You know, like, honestly, it's getting to that point. See, I think this is a city that can be ran correctly by women as far as the format is concerned. Like, the face of it. Like, we got Paris Alexa, one of the top musicians out here. You have public figures that are females that's moving really hard. You got female artists out here that just up the par as the guys. You know, it's saying something. That's definitely saying something about our city and about our world right now. Yeah. Something to embrace. That's all I wanted to add to.
Now, who are some of your favorite artists that you like to listen to right now?
I really like Roddy Ricch. I've been on him a lot. DaBaby has a couple good songs. I just started to get on him.
I told y'all, bro. He's good, though.
I mean, I love Lil Baby and Gunna.
Yeah. I was listening to Blink.
I mean, if we're talking about right now, that's who I would probably say is in my top.
Whoa,
like
which DaBaby did you fall in love with? Like, which project?
No, okay, I love
which project? I like Baby Talk 5.
I don't even know none of his projects.
What?
One?
Bro, that's all I know.
I don't know none of DaBaby's projects, but I've heard like a few songs now, and I'm starting to rock with
I liked
it.
Harder Than Ever.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, right now I like the Usher joint. I like going Baby on Baby for his new project. He got the joint with Rich Homie Quan is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got.
I like all his stuff with Gunna. Like, him and Gunna together is crazy to me. Like.
Yeah, pretty up the par, man. He say he the best rapper. I'm like.
Who said he's the best rapper?
He said, hey, bro, he got some joints, though.
Who said that?
DaBaby, bro.
Are we talking about DaBaby or Lil Baby?
I'm talking about DaBaby.
Oh, I was talking about Lil Baby.
I mean, I fuck with Lil Baby, but I like DaBaby. You know?
No, I mean, I've heard a couple of DaBaby songs that I fuck with.
I don't know none of his projects either.
Yeah.
I think I know like 3 songs, but I mean, those ones are cool.
He's all right.
I'm fucking with DaBaby.
Yeah. I don't know. I really like Roddy Ricch right now.
Yeah, he's coming up. He's coming up tough right now.
Have you heard the Lil Nas X Old Town Road?
Oh, wait, that's a slap.
Yeah,
I heard it was crazy because I had seen it on Instagram, and that's what I'm saying. The power of social media is wild. I seen it on Instagram. You know those like little thriller videos that people be doing, like I don't know, with the music over, stuff like that. This boy I seen was like he did it to that song, and I was like, I never heard the song, and I was like, is this a real song? And then like the last couple weeks, I've heard it out, and then I heard the remix, you know. But that's a banger to me.
They tried to grease him too.
Bro,
I know they tried to say it wasn't a country
man.
song.
Oh, Billboard did him dirty.
I know.
No, they tried to grease him. He was at like number 19.
Yeah.
And then they took it off.
Yeah,
bro,
that
and
was
I
kinda
think
bogus,
that I think Billy Ray, he's real.
I think Billy Ray did it just for that.
Hey,
But
yeah,
He
for
rocking
sure,
rocking with him. He
He's
rocking
real.
with
He
him.
gets him back on for that.
Because and then they try to say it wasn't a country song, so now what you going? Now that he's on it, you really can't say it's not a country.
Billy Ray came out with that and it wasn't Lil Nas.
Right.
It would still be on the country
It'll be
chart.
charting. It'll be charting.
With all that bass in there.
But that's what they were saying, bro. Like, how the fuck's Post Malone sans the 21 Savage feature, how the fuck is Rockstar a rap song, bro? That's not a rap song.
And bro, and Post, the ironic thing is that Miley Cyrus, his daughter, is the same person who dissed hip hop.
Right.
Hey, but now we love her dad, man. We trade Miley, we get Billy Ray.
She tweeted something today, I think, or yesterday, and she said something about, oh, my dad's song, and somebody.
My dad's song?
Yeah.
No way.
She was like, it was like a GIF or a GIF or whatever the hell it's called of her and Madonna, and it was like me and Madonna dancing to my dad's song, and then.
That's crazy.
Old Town Road.
That's
But she got checked real quick on Twitter though.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start following Molly a little
dope
more.
that-
No, it's a slap.
It's dope.
Yeah.
That
Nah, it's official.
And it's funny.
They actually.
I turned into Sheriff
it was
Caj,
It
man.
was on my feed, on my YouTube feed this morning. I was like, let me check this out real quick. Let me have an open mind.
That's that
Let's
power.
let it
That
go.
power of going viral, man. That power of going viral.
I'm telling you, social media is
key.
crazy, and there's so much money involved. Like you don't understand.
He already signed.
That's the source for today's man.
He already signed. I think it was with. I thought I saw it was Epic. No, Columbia. I think I saw it was Columbia.
He creating a whole new wave.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
So what's your favorite sneaker of all time?
Damn. It used to be the Bread 11s, but I'll probably have to say the Bread 1s right now. Yeah.
Red ones?
Yeah.
The OGs, the classics.
I mean, there's
Bread
like
ones.
sneakers that I like are my favorite, but like I definitely have to like Bread 1s you can wear with literally anything.
I need the Bread 4s.
Yeah.
I don't got the Bread 4s. I got the Toro 4s.
I like the red Toros, bro. I've just been a fan of those. I'm just a big ass fan of those.
What is it? Is it 1 through? Is it 20?
23.
Is it 23?
I mean, he has like 31s and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but, like,
there's a lot, but like that
23s are like the classics, yeah.
Because there was the 20s that had the ankle strap.
With the Velcro all over it.
Yep. And then I forgot what the 21s were.
Yeah.
I forgot what 21, 22, and 23 were. But do you have 1 through 23?
No. I stopped after the 20s. I
Stop
didn't
fucking
cop.
with them.
Yeah,
Like, I'm
no.
done.
But I've had a pair of sneakers of all 1 through 20. Do I still have them now? No. But like I said, I stopped after 20.
Okay.
Like the 20s were so hard to me, and then the 21s were so whack.
The 20s
Like you said, you don't even know what they
hard.
look like. Like I can see it in my head, but I can't describe it to you. But it looked like a real solid like basketball shoe. It was really chunky.
Damn.
Yo, so did you hoop in Seattle?
Yeah.
Who did you hoop for?
I played at Franklin, and then I played college in Hawaii.
Did you play for any select in Seattle?
Yeah, so I played for the Dragons. I played. I was gonna play for Rotary, but I didn't. I ended up playing for a team called Triple Threat.
What were they?
Triple Threat.
Triple Threat?
Yeah, we was like number 1 in the state. We went to nationals, won 9th at nationals. It was a solid team, and then I played for a team called Sagebrush, which is out of the Tri-Cities.
My sister was a hooper. I don't know what year. She graduated in 2008. But
Where'd she go?
Huh?
Where'd she go to school?
She went to Inglemoor.
Really?
Yeah.
What's her name?
Bianca Cooper.
Oh yeah, I remember her.
Yeah. And she was like.
My friend Inglemoor. Who went to Inglemoor that I know? Did Sarah Anna go to Inglemoor?
Who? Sarah Anna?
Sarah, yeah.
Yeah, she went there.
See, she played with me at Sagebrush.
Okay.
Yeah, so we played together at Select.
I know all the female hoopers because
Yeah.
like I was at all my sister's shit, so like I know like I don't know if you're even the same grade, but like Daviana Munson.
Yep, Daviana. I think I knew your sister through my sister Vivian.
Vivian Freisen.
Yeah.
That's the homegirl.
Yeah.
I love Viv.
Yeah.
She played at Gonzaga with my homegirl Kayla.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what's up. Yeah, I know her.
Favorite. Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Favorite NBA or favorite motion picture movie, but inspired by NBA. It's an NBA soundtrack. I would say.
Favorite basketball movie?
Yeah, I'm lit right now.
We're
But
having this-
no, favorite basketball
we were having
soundtrack.
this talk the other day. We had to talk about the favorite movie with the rapper, not here, somewhere else, but favorite
Okay.
basketball movie.
Favorite
I would say
basketball
sound.
movie?
No, I'm saying soundtrack. Like you got Sunset
Oh,
Party, you got
soundtrack?
Above the Rim, Loving Basketball. No. Did they even have a?
Love Basketball had a soundtrack.
Yeah, okay.
That's tough.
Above the
Yeah.
Rim might be the one.
Yeah.
Above the Rim is my top.
Yeah.
I might have to go either he got
You
game.
can say
He got
Space
game.
Jam. You can say Space Jam.
Either he got
You can
game
say
or
Space
Coach
Jam.
Carter. He got game is that one though.
He got game does have heat on there.
That's just like remind me and my pops.
Nah, well,
He's
the
a
one
blessing.
for me had to been in the beginning. Yeah, Above the Rim, because I had a lot of older cousins, and they were all hoopers. Everybody, like my cousin Tunji, my cousin Kenny, they were all hoopers. So it was like that's all they really played. So when in the beginning, that was my first favorite. But then Space Jam kind of snuck in there when I hit 3rd grade, and then after that, it was like, you know what I mean? Like, it's certain
I remember
certain
catching
films.
Space Jam in the theaters.
But I didn't even know Jay-Z wrote songs on that album. That was crazy.
Yo, well, before we literally run probably out of camera space, I just want to thank you for coming on with us here at the Lunch Table.
Appreciate that. Thank you so much.
For joining us here at the 2019 Culture Fest. This is Lunch Table, man. Be sure to tune with us every single Monday via the RMR Facebook page, YouTube, and Spotify. I'm Caj Encee, Feez the Germ, M-Pyre, Infamouskayce. We're out of here, man.
Infamouskayce.